What's going on, everyone? What's going on? Yo, it's like the end of the year now. Like, it's crazy.
Basically.
Yo, 2020, yo, it's been like this year went quick.
hmm
Yeah, you already know.
hmm What's up, everybody?
You already know what it is. Hey, you seen him on the previous episodes. You already know he's back. Introduce yourself.
Who are you talking about?
You.
You already know who. You already know what it is. It's Gerald. You know what I'm saying I've been here. I've been here. I'm still here. I'm saying. I'm on that gram one time at John Roberts. I'm saying. Exactly. I'm tired, man. Had a long day.
You'll be all right.
You,
We all have been. We all have been, but we about to
And tell me about it.
yeah, we about to get it started. So in this
where's my camera at?
in this episode, we're gonna talk about stocks, the stock market,
Yes.
which is this was a
hmm
request from a listener. So we talk, when we talk about the stock market, we talk about like, apps like Robinhood and sharing stocks and stuff like that. So we have a special guest for that. You already know. And but first you already know we gotta do an introduction, of course. That's mandatory, introduction mandatory. So the first we're gonna talk about is greens. Why it's important to eat greens, and the benefits. I'm talking about the greens like salad, lettuce, broccoli, spinach, string beans, cucumber, kale, watercress, and you know, with stuff like that. So the benefits, it's green. It's a healthy diet, and as far as getting into like when you're eating it, it has vitamins, minerals, fiber, and low on calories,
Yeah.
and it can also reduce obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure. So why you should eat this, because it protects the brain and it's healthy, you know?
Yeah.
And
hmm
it helps, eating greens, it helps age well. Uh it boosts your digestive system. It's fat belly float, meaning like it, that gut, that that we that we get, you know.
I know that
It,
gut. Yeah.
all right. It reduces inflammation. It makes skin glow. It helps prevent cancer, relieve stress, build strong bones, improve insulin sensitivity. So majority of our life, we should be eating greens. My opinion, I would say 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
My opinion. Some people will say like 4 days a week. Some people might do 7 days a week, but my opinion, you know, 5 6 days a week. Yeah, because vegetables, just eating greens is yeah, it's very healthy for you. It's healthy.
Yeah. And I
Um,
want to say one thing real
mhm,
quick. Also, too, you can also consume greens by juicing them as well. And that also
absolutely,
helps you get more nutrients out of the greens as well for a little
absolutely.
tip.
Yes, yes.
I would say.
Um,
I'll hold. Let me
mhm,
say something quick. I would say the more natural, the more better. It's because this is stuff that God gave us.
facts.
Vegetables, fruits, stuff like that. So of course, it's gonna be good for us. You know what I'm saying because it's made
Yeah.
by Him. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like us humans, especially like us darker tone, skin tone humans, right? Like we're linked to the sun, right? Just
Mhm.
how plants like have photosynthesis, right? The sun gives them the energy to make water and sugar to grow and get healthy. It's the same way that we function to a degree. So that's why we need to eat more plants, to just to be healthy, to grow and to not just grow, but like also like just develop like how do I say it? more healthy, and like also it's more I guess, like a better word, beautifully. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
your complexion, your strength, your energy, your ability to perform, all that. So the same. So water and plants and sunlight. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Totally agree with that. Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. That's a nugget, everyone. That's a nugget, what he just said. That's a nugget. And so that's so the second, is there any last words about eating greens and stuff before we move on to the next, which is we're going to talk about. The next one's going to be about ingredients.
The last thing I really got to say about greens is like, try to have it at least once a day with one of your meals.
Facts.
I'll say especially with lunchtime.
Oh.
Should be your biggest meal out of the day too. So
have what once a day?
Yeah. Having greens.
And another thing is that how and all through our life too, I can say this too, is that when we have a 3-course meal, when we have the meat, the starch, and the vegetables, like the meat, the meat be like a size of this, starch be like this to our plate, and the vegetables be like this. I mean, for the people that is only for the audio, the meat is like a quarter of our plate. The starch is like it takes like a big we take like a big chunk like of our plate, and the vegetables is only like a, I would say, what, like a little bit. We only use a little bit. So pretty much what I'm saying is we put more starch and meat than vegetables in our plate.
Yep. Especially us Black folks, we love our soul food. Oh boy.
Facts. What? Get
some
that
mac
Caribbean
and cheese
food and the soul food and
what?
we got the mac and cheese and the what else? All
you
of
know,
that.
the sad thing is somebody show me mac and cheese and a plate of broccoli. Guess which one I'm picking? So we just
Oh man. All right, so the next ingredient, so next one, we haven't done this in a while. Talk about bad ingredients. Well, I'm not gonna say bad, but like just be cautious. So
you can say bad.
We're gonna talk about natural flavors that is in majority of our drinks and food when we go to the grocery store. So natural flavors. First off, the word natural itself is false advertisement.
It's a misnomer, you're saying?
Huh?
It's a misnomer?
No, it's natural.
Yeah, you're saying that, it's when they say that's natural ingredients, it's a misnomer. It's not an appropriately named thing.
You can say that, but the word natural itself, it's false advertisement, because if it's natural, it's supposed to be naturally grown, like just like you said from before, yeah, just like for what you said, like the sun and naturally grown. And for what I've researched, natural flavors is kind of similar to what we talked about before about caramel color, carmine color, and it's pretty much similar to what we talked about in episode 9. And some more talk about natural flavors. It's really common for artificial flavors. So artificial flavors and natural flavors is really like the same thing. Feel what I'm saying? So natural flavors are in kids' juices. That's a fact. Capri Suns, Minute Maid, Juicy Juice, so much more. I'm not even going to name them all. That's a
Very
fact.
true.
Majority of the time, natural flavors are everywhere in the store that we picked up.
You gotta use a
Natural
different word.
flavors.
You gotta use a different word other than natural flavors. It's
I can't use a different word. It's the reason why is because it is in your food. It's in your juice. Look it up.
all right.
If you go to
Keep going
if you go, I'm
and
telling you, if you go to the grocery store, if you pick up on the shelves, look in the ingredients section, you're gonna see natural flavors.
all right, keep going. I'm gonna cut you off
It's
later.
true.
So majority of the time, natural flavors are everywhere and it's in processed food. So natural flavors extracts from different colors, which that's chemicals to make the food taste good for you. So natural flavors is actually an addiction. It tastes good to people because it's an addiction. So it's like, you know how it's like a drug, and it's like when you eat it, they extract that
All right,
taste.
sorry. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. All
Go
right,
ahead. Go ahead.
all right, so I think of a different definition of natural flavors. Like, give me your definition real quick and tell me where they come from.
I'm about to do the definition, but you cut me off.
I do it then, and tell me
So
where
can
they
I
come from.
let me finish first
Go
and
ahead.
then let you speak.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So as I was saying, all right. So natural flavors. Uh, once again, I'm gonna say it again. It extracts from different color, which that's chemicals to make the food taste good. So so pretty much it's like a drug. So it's like when you have you majority of the time you're like, damn, I want some more food. Or I want more of that taste, and the reason why we eat the food that has natural flavors or drink it is because of the taste. You're not tasting of what it tastes good. You're tasting the addiction of it.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off again. Okay, it's not okay. I think. All right. You say natural flavor. I think you're talking about like food coloring and other stuff that isn't natural.
I said that, right?
So why you keep calling it natural but
You
not
see,
natural?
did I say that?
Yeah, but those aren't
Yeah,
natural.
he did.
That's not natural though. That's
Okay.
inorganic stuff.
Okay.
Natural stuff is like plants and herbs and animals and all that stuff. That's natural stuff. Like the food coloring and all that inorganic stuff.
So
That's like,
Gerald, do me a favor.
that's what we're talking about, which is not natural. So you
Do me a favor.
you're confusing me. So yeah.
Look up natural flavors before you debate with me.
I just did. I'm debating this.
Just Google natural flavors. Now let me finish, and then after you can continue. Okay?
I think you're using the wrong word.
So it's an addiction. Once again, people, do your own research, and even if even if it's in the organic section, and if you see the ingredients natural flavors, it's not as bad as non-organic foods. But
Mhm.
pretty much I just simply broke down what is natural flavors. So it's like for an example, let me break it down to you. Let's say I have a lemon, and what I'm doing is putting or mixing the lemon to a chemical to extract that flavor, and I'm calling it natural flavors.
You know, it's a good example. Look at sugars, for example. Brown sugars is more of the fine sugar, actually from the cane. White
Exactly.
sugar is basically bleach sugar, which is being dosed in a chemical. You can use that as an example.
Yes. So that's how it's pretty much like I said, and they extract that, that color, that
Mhm.
yeah. So it makes it taste good. Like I said, it's an addiction. It is in yogurts, ketchup, syrup, canned vegetables, whatever you can think of.
Because it's actually like to prove you guys' argument, they naturally usually had that on kids' products. Like you mentioned earlier, juicy juice and stuff like that. Even high C even says 100% natural flavors, whatever the case is. So
Talk to me, Gerald. Talk to me, Gerald. Gerald, talk
I
to
even
me.
have an article pulled up right here in front of me.
Talk to me. You can
I
share
get
it
what
if you want
Gerald's
to.
saying. I get what he's saying, but it's naturally called natural flavors.
Talk to me, Gerald.
Because nowadays, instead what people usually use when they want to talk about something like healthy, they use organic.
Yes. So you can share your screen if you want. You can share your screen if you want to.
Wait, who you talking to? Me and him.
TC.
For me, it's on my this computer right now, so not able to.
You're good. I already put it on. You're good.
No, it's on my other desktop. So
Oh, all right. So never mind that. You
yeah,
good.
yeah,
All right. So
yeah.
all right. So what I'll do is I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up something that has a screen. It's gonna be a transition that way people can, and I'm gonna do it in the description as in people can read the articles for what we're talking about. So Gerald,
Yeah.
now you can say what you gotta say.
I mean, all right. So, what's the point of So what the point? What's the point of people like utilizing natural flavor? I'm gonna use quotes. Natural flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's my question.
Okay, so it's I think, in my opinion, and this is not a fact, uh, I think, in my opinion, that natural flavor, the word natural is, getting to cat, the word natural, people be like, oh, this is natural. And they buy it just because it says the words natural flavors. That's my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, and my earlier point was because there is a true thing as a natural flavor, as natural flavor like that, like legitimate natural, like what's it called? Like yeah, I'm reading right now, looking at an article where like and it's actually like real life. Yeah, they have inorganic stuff. They have inorganic methods of extracting flavor of extracting substances and putting them to food, but also there's also like a legitimate natural way of flavoring as well. Like what's the word? I need to learn some more words. Everybody got yeah they people sometimes like actually take extract like what's it called? Yeah, it comes from they extract natural flavors from like animals, plants, bark, bud. Yeah. So like, is there a difference between that and what you're saying, or it's the same thing? Because there are extracted substances from natural and inorganic substance. So like,
Absolutely.
is it the same thing, or it's like two different things we're talking about?
You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Um, like I said, I'm gonna have descriptions of articles that you can read, and between you and our listeners, y'all can do your own research.
Because we have you truly do have natural, like legitimate natural flavoring, and they also have the like unnatural inorganic flavor, like
Mm-hmm. Yes, like I said, even though it is in organic too, the word as the word it says organic, but it's not as bad as non-organics.
like I'll give our listeners a hint, right? So like corn syrup, right? That's a natural thing, right? But like you know how like you read ingredients of like a soda bottle or something, and you see like benazone and whatever, this chemical, that chemical, right? If,
Yeah.
right, so like chemicals, right? Yeah, they're naturally occurring, but also right, they're mixed together in a lab by men. So like the simpler it is to read, here's a clue, right? The simpler it is to read is the more organic it is. So if it's like hydrophosphate chloride acid, that's clearly like some like a man-made composition. Or if it's just like, I don't know, concentrated orange juice or concentrated starch or cornstarch, that's natural. So there are intuitive ways to like kind of like distinguish, you know what I'm saying, like organic, inorganic substances. Like region, breed, nutrition facts, so that's it.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring our guests. Stay tuned, everyone. You already know this one's gonna be about stocks. Let's get into it. We're gonna ask questions, everything. You already know. All right. Stay tuned, y'all. All right. You already know what it is. Episode 14. We got
Already?
a special guest. Yo, introduce yourself. You look ready. You look humble, King. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, I'm very.
Gerald, they also got Clyde. Stop.
No, I like y'all
You a funny
introduce
guy,
yourself. Can y'all introduce yourselves first, real quick, and then I'm gonna follow up.
Absolutely. Let's go. All right. So my name is Diamond Cash. Yours truly. My words will give you something to remember. Oh,
Like that.
oh,
TC, co-host, and I'm just here to give my opinions and just try to spread some knowledge to everybody.
oh.
I'm Gerald. I'm saying, like, I've been here. You already know. I'm just here to school my boy Diamond in particular, to lead him through life by the nose. He's chosen me to be his partner, his role model, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I'm Clyde Slade, originally from Brooklyn, but I've been in Arizona for about like 14 years.
Oh, you there right now?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm there. Yep, I'm here right now.
Okay.
Just chilling, just trying to build with everybody, building the brand here.
Now, I was joking, like, earlier. I
that.
don't know if you heard me now, but I was joking earlier. Like, you like Smack from URL. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
about to spit these bars. You know what
Right?
I'm saying?
And yo, all right. So thank you for joining us. And
Absolutely.
I see a lot of positivity going with you. Congratulations to you. I see, I know you an inspiration, King. I already know that for a fact. Just
Thank
want to
you.
say
Appreciate
congratulations to you.
Appreciate it.
Let's get into it. So we talk about stocks, and I'll be honest with you, like we are in the beginning stage of
For yourself.
stocks. Even me, I'm in the beginning stage, and
I'm
in the beginning stage still.
yeah, absolutely. And this was a request from one of our listeners, and it was like, hey, about stocks, and like so we have so many questions for you. And the first question we would like to ask is, why is it so important to get into stocks, and why is it a great investment?
Okay. All right. First, I would like to start this off like, basically this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion and views.
Okay.
But I'm gonna jump right into it. So a stock is also referred to as a security that represents a fraction ownership of a company, a proportion to the amount of shares of stock that you own with the company. That's what it is. It's not Vegas. Okay, a lot of people right now having a great time at home, right? And they they making money, and and they think they in Vegas, but to me, it's not Vegas. It just gives me an opportunity, or us an opportunity as Americans, right? Because we're taxed accordingly to what our potential is, right? So it gives us an opportunity to invest into companies. So that's what a stock is to me, right? It's a vehicle to invest inside a company, to be part of a part company owner.
So talk about like it's your vehicle. Can you talk more about that?
So we as Americans, right? me and you, and I'm gonna speak about that a lot, right? Because there's different stages in life and transitions for our generation. We right now in the greatest part of our generation. There's so much information that's going out there, right? And there's so much for us to accumulate and grow. So America is about capitalism. That's how it functions, okay? We're taxed. Yeah. We go outside, we work every day. We got 24 hours a day. We go outside every day and we work, right? And we look to bring enough revenue to help our families eat every day, right? Now, there's something very valuable that's very quiet to our community, which is people are unaware of, right? They go to Walmart, right? Or you go to Costco and you put application in for a job interview for this company, right? And then they decide whether they're going to give you $15 or $16 an hour. The flip side of it that we don't know is that company that we're applying for is actually owned by not an individual, it's owned by the public. So it's collective, okay? So how it's distributed, it's broken up into what they call shares, stocks. So one company may have 200,000 shares, right? And then they make it available for us to purchase those shares. Now, at one side, we got somebody who's looking at it like they seeing prices go up and down, up and down. That's the Vegas aspect, right? You buy something for 20 and you see it go up to 25 and then you see it drop down to 19. But the most important thing about it all is you don't want to pay attention to that. It's actually allowing you and me to be part of the company portion to the amount of shares that it is. So that's what the stock is. That's what the company does. They have a certain amount of shares, and if you buy a certain amount, that's proportion to your ownership. As an American and working every day, we're getting taxed by the IRS that works in a position for the U.S. Treasury. They're taking, roughly 24% of our check, right? So they're right as you see it. You can go, you can work every day. Now, you actually can get a deduction every year, at the bare minimum as an individual labor worker, $6,000 a year, where you can use that money to invest into the stock market and you can write off on your taxes. So just period, America basically endorses people who invest. Those are the people who do great. And yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the next question, then I'm gonna leave it all to the other guys to ask you questions. Can you break down when you talk about the investment? What you just talked about is the investment as in like a tax write-off to the stock market. Can you talk more about that?
Okay. So what the IRS has is these codes. Okay. A lot of us spend more time on Facebook.
You said code or codes?
Codes, CODE. So it's internal revenue codes, right? And a lot of us spend more time on these social media platforms. And the only time that I've been raised by my mom's, rest in peace, you don't play with the IRS, right? You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
Talk to them.
Right. And we stray away and fear these people, right? Now, I was put in a position where I had to confront them because that was the only thing that I had left, because I had no more money left. And the only money that I had left was the money that they was taking from me. So I had to ask myself, in the beginning, I was like, man, why me? But then I had to ask myself, and I know you have asked yourself this question, how do they expect me to live off of this money? Right?
Talk to them.
Right?
That his
So
home saying that.
Talk
Yeah.
to him. Yo.
I got this check that's coming in, right? And I got FICA coming out of it, which is Medicare and Social Security, which is basically old age survivor disability insurance, right? That was created in 1934, right? And then you have the state who wants to take a percentage, and then you have the feds, okay? So how am I going to survive at this point if you're taking all of this from my check? So I wanted to know, what's the real scoop on this? So I went up to irs.gov and I just started reading what they call the publications. Now, the publications that I'm talking about exactly, you could go on irs.gov and it's publications 590A. Okay. And I think it talks about individual retirement arrangement, but most people call it individual retirement accounts. And one of the tax codes they say, as you being a working American, you can do a salary reduction. Okay.
Yeah.
$6,000 a year. And it doesn't end at the end of the year, right? It ends at the end of the tax year, which is April 15th. Do you have to provide the money before you file your taxes? No, you can actually do an estimate before you do your taxes, as long as you get the money in there by April 15th. And that's all on the IRS website and concerned with that. They also have different tax write-offs with that also, which is if you have your own business, which is a SEP IRA. And that's in the different publications. It's publications 560 for small business. And you can do up into, I think is up into 25% or $57,000 a year. Now, most people, right, they get scared. Oh, I don't know anything about stocks. Why would I take my money out to invest? Okay, why would you give the IRS money that they're giving to you? So you can put it in cash. Cash is the worst asset to have. You can utilize it, but you can leave it as cash in there if you don't feel comfortable yet. So
Let's go. That's a nugget. That's a bar.
Yeah.
That's the bar where you said, definitely.
yeah.
All right. TC Gerald.
I mean,
You go ahead, Gerald. Seems like you had a question.
no, I'm just like getting all of this. I'm just pretty much agreeing with everything he's saying, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like ever since I remember I was like 13. My first started getting interested in stocks, but I didn't know how to. Like Diamond, he was asking around how do you get started also recently, use Robinhood or whatever. I used to use Cash App because they have an apparatus for it, but I just use my Chase app because you can just go on making an investment account for Chase, and you do it under your personal, not your business account, and it's free. And yeah, it's free, and you don't got to pay nothing. So I have a Roth IRA. I have three types of accounts. I have a traditional investment account, and I have a Roth IRA, and a third one I forgot what it was. But I got those three, the three different types of investment accounts, and I just put aside I pretty much put a portion of my every time I get paid, whether it's my paycheck or every time I get increased, I put a portion of that towards my cash and sweeps funds in my investment account, and then at a later time I decide how I'm going to invest it in certain stocks or perhaps bonds or mutual funds, whatever. I have a whole portfolio, a whole list of how to, a whole organized list of companies and funds that I put money through. So the key to that is keep it diverse. To me, the key to that is keep it diverse. Even if one stock is going down all the time, don't sell it. Just build your portfolio more and more. So that way, even though that one stock might be going bad, you still have it increases a whole because you have other growths to cover you to hide that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's Clyde. He's correct of everything what he just said.
Well, what he's saying is he's telling you who he's using.
Okay.
He's telling you that he's using Chase that has a third party brokerage account because legally they can't do it themselves. So they have a third party
Yeah.
brokerage account that comes into play. And he's saying that, I guess he's saying he's diversified in mutual funds, bonds, and some stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think what is holding our culture back, right? As because we're young black men, right?
Absolutely.
We need to get rid of the fact that the stock, right? So it's kind of like the basketball. Just because you got a basketball, don't make you nice and ball, right? So it's the same thing. I think the stock part of it is holding us back because if we need to start paying attention to the companies and learning how, now all this stuff is free, learning how to read financial data. Okay. Because so pretty much I'm just gonna sum it up for you. I got like some videos that I have out right now, right? But like, so a company comes out, and this is real short. So X, Y, and Z comes out. They want to have funding for future projects. So they register with the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commission. That's who regulates the stock market, right? The Security Exchange Commission. They have already started a seed round within themselves. Now they're registered to be private. Now, the only people who are able to invest in that is called accredited investors. That's someone who net worth is over $1 million or made 200,000 in the last 2 years, or them and their spouse made a total of 300,000. Okay, are you still with me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they do what is like a Series A, which is the beginning of it. That's the business, and normal people like me and you, or people who don't fit those criteria, are not able to invest in that time. You can go to Vegas, of course, and lose your house, your money, your family, your kids, and everything else, right? But the way the SEC says, we're not going to let you go over there because you don't make enough money. Okay. Then they have a Series A. By the time they do that, the company's probably worth 300 million. And I'm going to give you an example, like DoorDash. They did a Series A in May 2014 of, I think, 75 million. Right now, they're looking to go public. They just closed out like a Series G. Their total funding was 2.1 billion. And their valuation when they hit the market in March is going to be 32 billion. Okay, so that's just to show you where we're at. So if we need to focus, because there's a lot that goes with purchasing stocks, right? So we need to focus not on the stock part. We need to focus on the company aspect. What am I buying? What am I putting my money into? What are they doing with my money? You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to allow you to automatically change and see wealth in a whole nother flow of it. Now, I'm not saying if you want to go on Robinhood and you want to flip a few stocks, or they have this thing called options, you can learn that, right? And I'm gonna give y'all all the directions because I hold nothing back. And the reason why I do that is because my coach is more important than me. You know what I'm saying? The culture of, I feel like we're at a cycle. You have these people who do know some things, or you have the Forex people, and everybody's always charging to train you, but not coach you and show you. So I'll point you in that direction. Yeah, more saying.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Quick question, Clyde. So
Yeah.
you kind of answered this already, but how did you develop the patience to get into the stock markets, and like the commitment, and like how you taught yourself? Like, what was your ways to get into where you are now?
So with me, the playing field is even, right? I look at everybody the same. I don't look at any individual being better than me and me and being worse than any individual. So my entire life, living in Brooklyn, New York, I give everybody the same, right? And if I see somebody doing good, even though he used to hurt me, I see him with a Bentley and I don't have anything, right? Because I come from the gutter, right? But the experience and seeing things like that happen, right? And then taking that information and start reading the history, because everything comes from history, right? We a lot of people, they arguing right now, we need Black history in school, right? Which is true. That's a whole nother subject, right?
Yeah.
But everything comes from the history. And then we can kind of see the pattern where we're going next. So if you stray away from the investment part of it, right? And you start to pay attention to the study, and I got a study group that I'm working with right now. If you start paying attention to the study part of it, you start to be more prepared and focused to make decisions from that, right? Now, when I first got in, I'm gonna be honest, it was like 2016. I jumped in on the Bitcoin, that era, right? And when you first get in, you get scared, right? Heart's racing, you're sweating every day. And I wound up losing a large sum of money in that deal, which you probably like, damn, Bitcoin, but Bitcoin prices back where it used to be, right? So I guess me acting out of fear, I lost that. So the question that you ask, and I think the more that you gather information, the more comfortable you are making decisions. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It kind of makes sense, because I just know, like, especially for the Black community, it's very hard for us to try to get into the stock markets because they don't teach us this in schools and stuff like that.
Yes,
And
that's
even like our parents don't even know stuff like this because it's never taught to us. So to see you in your position, which honestly, props to you, is like, how did you do it?
So what happens is, see, you right there is a good point in your life, right? You're saying my mother ain't teach me this, right? My aunt is in Harlem right now. She's 88 years old. Okay. She used to always tell me, she used to always tell me, hey, listen, you need to save a portion of your check. That's what your mom's somebody telling you right now. Save your money, right?
Yeah,
always
hear that.
Okay, go to school and get a good job. You know the reason why they telling you that? Because that's what worked for them, right? The bank right now is only paying 0.01%. Money in the bank is not going to do you any good, right? Now, there was also things that they couldn't do. My aunt was telling me when I told her, and I told her the value of what I had, she looked at me and she told me to be safe, right? And the reason being is because she's from Harlem when it was all Italian. So the things, so the things that we can do today, we couldn't do before. So yes, we start to question why my mother didn't teach me this and why all of this stuff wasn't available. There were different regulations that changed today that we don't need a broker. We can do everything from our house.
Exactly.
So it changes the playing field. So when you get that information right there, you got to get past that. And when you get past that, you put that to the side, and then you begin to start working towards and paying attention to what you have today, because this is the greatest generation right now that ever lived. And the ones who were here before us probably said the same thing about their generation, and it was correct during their time. But right now, we cannot be stopped. You the only person that's stopping yourself. Nobody can stop you. You're a millionaire already, right? Whatever you do right now, you're just subtracting away from that. But you already ready to go. You already got your mind made up. You're already focused. Just keep going. Yeah. I mean, that's just pretty much.
Let's go. All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to touch more about when you talked about the risky part.
Mhm.
Do people fail in stocks Like, do you need a certain skill to get into stocks? Like, because we know it's risky. So can you talk about that? If
Okay. So do you need a certain skill to invest or mindset? Right or wrong, as we may traditionally think, doesn't exist in the market environment, right? The market is always right. Um, m- Most people can purchase stocks, but holding them is completely different. Now, as far as is the market risky? Now, so you have direct stock picking, which requires a certain set of skills. Okay, that's why I'm telling you go study, right? Because you need to know what to purchase, what company to purchase, or what things to look for to be successful. Just because a company comes out doesn't mean, oh, if I put my money in there, I'm gonna be great and I can walk away, right? But then they have something called the S&P. Have you heard of it? I know you heard of it. You in the mecca of it. You could take the train station right now, Bowling Green, get off, Standard and Poor, S&P 500. That's why I
Oh,
said
S and P.
yes, S&P 500. Now with the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies. Okay. Now we going to forget about the stock part, right? Is the top 500 companies in America is in it. So it's an index of those companies. Now they say if you would invest your money from 1926 to 2018, the S&P has tracked over every year about 10 to 11% return. Okay. Now, and so when you invest into the index, instead of putting your money into the direct stock picks, you're invested into America. Now, what's the risk with that? If that goes down to zero, guess what? There's a greater risk of what's happening on the street with me and you, and is not concerned about money, because that is the American economy. I don't know where you was at in 2009. That's if whether you had your money in the stock market or not, you was affected by it when it crashed in 2009. Everybody was. You can ask your parents, and they can talk about other times that they was affected when it crashed and stuff like that.
Mm.
So risky, yes. Everything's risky, right? I always like to say this part. I got 3 baby moms, right? Unfortunately, we didn't go take, AIDS test when we got together. Was that risky? Absolutely. That was putting my life on the line. Okay. Anything that you unaware of is risky. You go outside every day where you at. You may live in a rough neighborhood. The risk level is low for you. You know why? Because you know how to navigate. Someone who doesn't know how to do that, they may get hurt.
I
You
like
feel me?
that. I like
That's a
that
bar.
analogy.
That's
Yeah,
a bar.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
that's
So
that's
so
brilliant.
yeah. So
Yeah,
risk comes from not knowing and going into something not knowing. But once you start to navigate it, and you like, yo, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't lose, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's people right now forging their names, right? They forging their names so they can push things through the American side. You feel me? Like, they in other countries trying to figure out ways to be here as an American. And this is the opportunity, because you say, all the people say, oh, you Americans late, you blacks lazy. Wait, hold on. First of all, we're not lazy because, my ancestors, from the history that I read, America's built on the backs of them, right? I'm a descent of the slaves, right? Am I misguided? Absolutely. But lazy, I'm not. Do I want to do something that's not going to benefit me in the long term that I can't see long term? Absolutely not. But once you start to realize, okay, why all these cats coming here? And I'm sitting here, ain't nobody telling me nothing, because the opportunity that's here for us is just a lot of opportunity. And when you start to look at that part of it, and yeah, we have the racism and stuff like that, but let me tell you something: the stock market's not racist. You understand what I'm saying? The stock market's not
that's
racist.
true.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna clear that up right here and right now.
Mhm.
So we just gonna
Thank
focus.
you.
Yeah. So we just gonna focus on that aspect of it. And another thing about it, my mother used to always tell me, people already define how they see you. They already know how they see you, right? So my entire life, she made me look at it like, oh, that's what's going to help you. Because they're looking at me like, oh, this guy's going to go in the store. This guy's going to rob me. You know, if I go in the bank, this guy's going to do this. And guess what? That's good. Because then now I can live the best me, right? Now I can focus on things that you're not even paying attention. You won't look at me and think for a bit the information that I have. It allows me to move strategically and do what I got to do, and life becomes great. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many strategies and building and to do this. It's like I didn't come from any capital, any money, right? So I had to strategically allow myself and place myself in different spaces and say, okay, how can I do this? How can I do this without money, right? How can I do it? Because that's the biggest thing too. People are like, how am I get the capital? There's different things that you can do to get the capital. Once you change your mindset, once you educate yourself, then you can find out what's at your disposal to do it. You feel me? I wanted to invest $2,000-$3,000 a month. You know what I did? I got me a part-time job at Walmart, right? One of the greatest companies that I ever had the opportunity to work for, right? And I was able to invest $2,000 a month without skipping a beat. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah. I mean, this is another thing people won't tell you. All right. So let's look at America as a whole, right? Because I'm gonna speak on that because people try to take that away from us, right? But we're Americans. This is where we at right now. So you look at Coca-Cola, you look at Pepsi, you look at Home Depot. I want you to really think about this, right? All of these companies, Lowe's, all of these companies are public companies, which means they're owned by the public. Okay. People use stocks as a vehicle to purchase it. If the CEO wants to own it, he has to keep his shares, right? And his shares may not outweigh the shareholder who can actually fire these people. That's why these people get fired all the time. I'm gonna just run into this one. So I don't know if you ever heard of Zappo. The shoe Zappo, years ago, was a company called Zappo.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Amazon bought the company, and the guy who owned it started working for $40,000 a year. Right. People don't even know Zappo's formula is Amazon's to the T. If you study business, right? And unfortunately, that dude just died just recently. So, but if you look at all of these companies, right, that I mentioned, they paid employees minimum wage, right? But if you would have took the stock options while you was in there, because each of these companies offer you that. When you go to the interview, right, you go to Walmart, here's how it works, right? Because I've done it, right? You go to Walmart, people very happy, very great community, right? You're the one who's looking at them like, oh, this place sucks. Look at this place, right? Because the quality of work is different, right? So you get there, they offer you the job. I'm not even talking about the incentives that they give you. Then they give you this package that says, hey, not only can you work for us, you can also become a part owner, and we'll pay 15 cents on a dollar of each share that you get in your portfolio while you're employed by us. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at these people who years ago, and I'm gonna tell you because I've walked around until I met the guy who had $1 million. Okay, how much stock? Oh, I ain't do no stocks. And I'm walking around. Oh man, you got 20 years, and they don't know. They sitting there over there playing with the vegetables, and I'm like, you got 20 years? Have you been buying into their stocks? Oh yeah, absolutely. How much money you got in there? You know? Oh, I got a nice sum. I got like 500,000. You know, so all these companies I'm talking to you about, they make you owners of them. So if you look at it different, they make you owners of them. And a lot of these people, not everybody, but some of these people became millionaires on minimum wage working there. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
You understand what I'm
Never
saying?
thought.
Yeah.
That's yo.
Yeah. So
That's
it's just
crazy.
So it's just an arsenal and where we at and how we look at things. The stock part about it, I think that holds us back the most, but I think the educational part is crazy. And I'm gonna put you guys onto some of the dudes that I look up to. Some of these dudes like me and you, man, you won't even know $2-3 million. You know what I'm saying? Like they, you know what I'm saying? Like they regular. They like me and you. They not flashy. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I had people tell me, because I go on certain pages, oh man, don't post that. Don't post that money. You know, people can hurt you. Listen, let me tell you something. All my years in the hood, on the streets, I'm gonna keep it real. It took me years to realize I never really seen anyone get hurt for being rich or having money. We're around rich people every day. We don't know. I've seen people get killed for stunting on people, for pretending that they rich, and then they going to go get GoFundMe pages when they die, right? But they look good. They got Bentleys, they got cars, they got BMWs. You understand what I'm saying? And they look like that in the middle of the melting pot, but in reality, they don't even have the money. So, yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's just
Wow.
Yo, wow.
You just spit
Yo,
some knowledge just now.
facts.
Oh,
Yo,
I got
so
you,
many,
bro.
so many balls, so many
Wow.
nuggets. Yo,
Mhm.
uh,
I got you.
and, any questions, Gerald,
Yeah,
TC?
I got a few. So many things to say. All right, I do the easiest one first. Just get the way. Like earlier you talked about the S&P, right? Is there a reason you only put that one up as a because that's the index? We also have the Dow Jones, the New York Stock Exchange, the NYSE. What else? The Nasdaq and others. So is there a reason why you brought up that one
Yeah,
only?
so the Nasdaq holds the Nasdaq 100 holds the tech companies, and then you have the Dow that holds, I think, only 25 companies. So that's the largest one. That's the one that holds the majority of it, and it seems that's the one they follow the most. So like if you ever go, oh, the stock market is dropping, that's what they're paying attention to. They'll talk about the Dow because that's like I think the 25 top companies,
Okay.
but they'll talk more about the S&P
Okay.
500. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's one thing. And so, all right. So, speaking as a businessman, and also, my boy Diamond also got his own company, right? I have an
Mhm.
LLC. He has an unregistered company. And I'm thinking about like merging soon, real soon. But that's a whole nother conversation. Do you know anything about like launching an IPO to get on the stock market? Like all that take and how?
I can probably research it. I don't know it right off my head. It always starts from the seed. So it's basically what I just told you. It's the seed money, which would be the money that you have or whoever believes in you. And then you will have to, I think it's a corporation, and then you will have to register with the SEC. And then from there you would get private investors, which will be accreditor
That's what I
investors.
want to do right now. That's what I want to do right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I would always look at, keeping the control within, the short community at first. I mean, there's a lot of people making a lot of money who, to be honest with that, they're just keeping the control within them, within the community. Because right now, let me tell you something, Corona has changed the playing scale. Like
Facts.
there's so much different changes in terms of, as first of all, as being a small business, now you may qualify for some type of loan. It may not
Yeah.
be that great of a package, but there'll be some. But also having the outside place like the storefront, the brick and mortar is really not that important no more. So you take away all of that off of that, and you get a lot to work with within your little environment. What we doing right now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
man,
Hmm.
it's just so much to tap into, man, with our community
Absolutely.
because we're so behind the mark. And when you focus on bringing a solution to an existing problem, that's what I have. I'm not looking to capitalize off of anybody. I'll make my own money, but bringing a
I
solution
hear that.
is in helping those who look like me and who are faced with similar problems is definitely something that I'm looking forward to continuing to do.
Let's
So,
go.
I hear that.
Let's go.
Yes.
I'll talk
Let's
more about
go.
that when we get towards the end of, the things that I put in place to do that.
Oh, we got
Mm.
more. All right. TC.
So, how would you know? Let's say you buy a stock, right?
Mhm.
How would you know when it's the best time to sell?
Oh
the
yes,
stock.
patience. Absolutely.
That is still part of the patience question, yeah. But like, how do you know when's the best time to sell it? Or even let's say you see a stock like the Gap is down by like 10%, something like that. How would you know if it's still a good time to invest into that company?
So when I like to survey companies, okay, like the Gap. First of all, I'm gonna go on the SEC website, and then I'm going to, or I have some other websites that we'll talk on later. But I'll go up on there and I'll pull up what they call an 8K, right? And the
Okay.
8K is the financial income data sheet. It'll tell me how much money they got on hand, their debt to ratio, how much money they made within the last 5 years. All of that information is like a W-2 form, but it's for a company. And from that point, I will kind of sum up how much each share is worth, right? And then I won't pay attention to what the market does because the market can be wrong. They do it tons of times when they're faced with what they fear and what they're scared of, they'll start selling out in the market, and it won't show the value of an actual company. It won't like you can, like I'll tell you one that I bought recently in March. There was I bought Jack in the Box. We have this thing called Jack in the Box out here West Coast. They call it Jack in the Crack.
The burger place?
Huh?
The burger place?
Yeah. Yeah, the burger place. It went for $20
Yeah, it's
a
fast food
share.
chain.
Yeah, it went down to $17 a share. Now, I knew automatically
Wow.
it was yeah, it was worth more than that. So, I got a certain amount, and right now it's at $94 a share. And when I do all my calculations, it fits the price that it's at right now. And then also there's some things that's in place, right? There's this things called PE, right? Which the more you start to study the equity is called price per equity. And it shows what they call as a multiplier. And so you'll automatically see it when you look up the stocks. Oh, this stock is 25, this stock is 500 times more than it's worth. Then of course you'll be looking to say, should I keep that or should I sell it and wait till it balance out to its worth? You understand what I'm saying? And then there's some other things that come into play, like tax code, right? So you got federal tax rate, which is the regular rate that every working person who goes outside every day and work, that's what they pay. And then you got capital gain taxes. So if you hold it for a year, you qualify for capital gains, which is 15% on it when you sell. So those are the little factors that you have to have to figure out. Is it better for me to hold it or to sell it? So it's like different. It all varies. And that's why I always say, and it's funny, like people always say, why people start off, this is not financial advice. It's not because of no legalities, even though some of it is. It's because everybody's situation is different. If I sat with you every day and we built together in the study group, right? And then you told me, you was up front, you was like, listen, my mom dude's having a hard time. I need to start moving some things. Then we're going to talk on another level. Besides that, I'm going to say, okay, this what works best for you. Because the market is bi-directional. You can make money if it goes up. You can make money if it goes down. The market is always right. You're never right. As far as you say, oh, Gap shouldn't drop. You listen. The market don't care about what you think. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So so when it comes to that part of it, it's when to sell, when not to sell. It all depends on what you're doing.
Okay, makes sense.
Can you talk more about like buying per share? Because it's like let's say for example you buy Tulsa, popular, very popular, and in the stock market, it's about I'm gonna just say a number. Let's say if it's like 300, and you bought like, let's say like $2 per share. Can you talk more about that?
Oh, okay. So you're talking about fractional shit.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
oh, okay. So if the stock is like 500, but then you using like Cash App or something and you buying $2 worth. So, okay. So this is how people like to see it. So this is how most people talk about their money. It's very simple. It's in percentages. That's
How
how
can
you show.
also how can they benefit you also? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, how can they benefit you?
Well, this is how you're gonna know automatically, right? In third grade, we was always taught percentages, right? Percentages around that time, third grade. That's all you need to focus on in the market. I don't care if you call me and you told me I made 50,000, I made 1,500, I made 500,000. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not what I want to hear. I want to know what percentage you made, right? Because everybody's situation is different. So if a stock is $500, let's just say, okay, and let's just say you put $3 in it. What in your mind you have to ask yourself? Keep it very, very simple. Simple. What does that stock have to do for me to double my money? That stock has to reach $1,000 for you to double your money. So that's how you calculate it. So percentage. And then you say, okay, how is that stock? What does stock price does it have to reach for me to get 50% on my money? Then it has to reach 750. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how you look at it in percentages. That's the easiest way.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
The next cut is going to talk about dividends. But I'm gonna let Gerald and TC take it away.
Go ahead, Gerald.
Let me see. I mean, I don't have much to add. I'm just absorbing all this information. You know what I'm saying. I guess if I had to ask anything at all, it would be this. Like, do you think it would be a prudent move to like use your LLC or just your business of any type as an investment vehicle, as opposed to like you
Okay, so LLC is very important. If you're working, a job's super important because it's what is called a pass-through. So that is an investment in itself because now you're investing. Okay, so it has nothing to do with stocks, right? Like I said, America favors the investor as a whole. I'm not just talking about stocks, real estate, business ownership, helping a corporation out, investing is what America loves, right? That's what it thrives off of, capitalism. So you having the LLC, like I do, blue chip hustle, right? If you're making money, you can use that to, maybe you have another vehicle, you have two vehicles, and then now you just purchase, you have one vehicle, now you purchase another vehicle for your business. Maybe you have your own apartment and you using it as your office. Maybe you're paying for this Zoom or whatever recording using. You can use it as a pass-through to write off your expenses for your business. That is a huge investment because you're taking the money, investing it into your business, and your business is going to write it off and cut it back to you. So yes, it is definitely. Another thing too, it can be a shell to hold long-term stocks. So like I have Walmart, my Walmart stocks is in my company's name because it's a long hold. Walmart is, is a fantastic company. I mean, I work there, so of course I promote it all the time. I used to work there.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've heard.
Let's go.
One of the world's biggest companies.
Well, that's the number one company in America.
Walmart?
Oh, for
yes.
real? Okay.
Yep. It's the number one company.
So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm done.
So, since Walmart is number one, I know they also own Sam's Club.
Yes,
so
if
you buy a share of Walmart, are you also buying a share of Sam's Club as well?
Yes. So you buying a share of Sam Club. Walmart has some other companies too that they have that, people don't talk about much, that they have companies in India. They have companies all around the world. There's
Mhm.
Walmarts in China. So when you buy a share of Walmart, you're paying into you're investing into the 2 million employees that they have versus your 24 hours. And then
Okay.
speaking on dividends, you getting paid for owning a portion of Walmart every year. And I'll definitely touch on dividends because that's over the years, it plays an important factor to long-term investing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
De-
Diamond.
definitely, definitely talk more about dividends.
So
Yeah.
dividends is a portion of the revenue that stock payers are paid for owning the company, but is distributed into the portion of the amount of shares that you own. So,
Okay.
for instance, AT&T, they pay $2.20, I think $2.52 a share. So if you have 1,000 shares, times that by 1,000. I mean $2 times 1,000. They pay it out quarterly, which is every 4 months. We have 4 quarters in a year.
Every
And
three
then you can
months.
take and then you could take that and 3 months, my bad. I'm slow. But then you could take that and you can drip it, which is called dividend reinvestment plan,
Mm.
and you can let it repurchase shares, or you can take the money in cash. It's good if you're in the beginning just to compound it. I'm gonna give you a perfect scenario that I missed out on, but it was an opportunity that somebody sitting right now had taken. Years ago, McDonald's, I remember going around my mother's car, probably crying to stop me at McDonald's, but also not knowing about stocks. I never took a holding in McDonald's. But if I look at McDonald's in 2003, it was I think it was like $20 a share. Okay, today McDonald's is $220 a share. They pay $5 dividends every year. So that means if I purchased stocks in those days at 25, it not only would it be $218, but I'll be receiving 25% on my initial investment a year. So, that's how you have to look at it, compounding over the years and stuff like
Let's
that.
let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's what app, because we know about Robinhood, we know about Cash App. What other apps are recommend to put your money invested in the stock market?
Well, all of the apps that you mentioned is qualified to hold securities, the
Mhm.
stocks. So they can hold it for you legally. Which one is easier to use is Robinhood. That is but as
Okay.
you start to get, more data and you want to do different things, especially like tax. Okay, so taxable account and non-taxable account. Robinhood only offer a taxable account, and Fidelity and Charles Schwab, I know, offer a non-taxable account.
Yeah, but they charge though.
No.
Fidelity.
Abigail Johnson is the CEO of Fidelity. It's not even a public traded company. She took the business from her dad. Now she doesn't charge. It doesn't now maybe you're using a service that is taking people time from people that they're charging you. So maybe you having them invest for you, which is the charge, but they don't charge you anything. It's zero fee.
Okay.
I'll look back into
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But you can
So
always
it's like
take my number and hit me up, and we definitely look into that. But they don't charge you. They don't charge you at all.
Mm.
so that service you're talking about is basically like A consultant that helps you.
Yeah. Well, yep, that's what it is. It's a
Okay.
you have a they're called the broker dealer.
Okay,
And
I
when you
heard about
go
that.
through them, they also work for a dealer, which will be like Fidelity or BlackRock, and then they basically sell merchandise or product from that company. So they may be putting you into something that they recommend within the company. So it's not you doing it self-directed, and that's where they make money. It's the same thing with me, right? You ask me anything, it's free. I don't charge anybody. Now would I reject somebody to pay me for giving me them services? No, right? But I won't charge nobody for giving someone information, right? For pushing the culture forward, I'm not going to charge you. But when you start to subtract my time, right, that's different. Then that comes with a fee. So that's what those businesses do.
Okay.
So if he's paying like
Absolutely.
a 0.25%, I think they have this account that she has. I forgot what it's called, and they charge you, but it's because they help you. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, but
let's
I
go.
definitely look at paying zero fees, doing self-direct, but also is educating yourself to be able to do that.
Let's go.
And quick question: what about the app Stash? Is that a good app for people to start using as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. Stash is a new app. I mean, it's not a new app, but it's user friendly, right? Someone who's never
Okay.
invested, it makes things easy for them. So what I say it's a bad app? No, I would just say once you graduate, you know, you go to the next grade. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty much.
Okay.
But it's a good app. I mean, to be honest, like my wife, man, I remember she bought stocks on there. To this day she still got them, and I can't get her to sell that to save her life, you know what I mean, because she it's just something that sticks close to her, you know. It was, but she doesn't use it
Okay.
now. Yeah, she don't use it.
Mm,
Okay.
let's go. Let's
All right.
go. Um, a couple more questions.
Yeah, I'm here.
Talk about more in like the difference between when you buy a stock, uh buy low, sell high. Is that true? Can you talk more about that?
Well, that's just like a philosophy, you know. It's just, I mean, of course it sounds good. I mean, it's you know, you buy low and sell high. How do you know what's low and how do you know what's high?
Mm,
It goes down to that
Okay.
again. So you know, it depends. You know, it depends.
Okay.
It's always how you look at it, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario. I'm gonna give you something that's close to my heart, right? Because you know, a lot of people, they talk about these things or Coca-Cola. Ain't nobody want to hear that. You know what I mean? We want to talk about right now, right? We want to
let's
talk about what's,
go.
yeah, right. So I don't know if you heard of Carvana before. It's a car vending
Yeah.
machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
If Carvana came out in 2017, they went public. Okay. Everything about that company makes sense, right? If you would invest in that company when they came out, 11, 17, or I think you will have about 100. If you would invest at 10,000, you will have $116,000. That's what your portfolio be worth right now. Okay. Roku, about the same. They came out in 2000 and I think 17. You invested 10,000, you will have about 120,000. Spotify. No, not Spotify. Shopify. Shopify, what they call it? Shopify.
Shopify. It's Shopify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shopify. Yeah.
Shopify came out 2015. If you would invest, I think 2015, if you would invested 10,000, you'll have $500,000 right now, right? So when you start to look at it like, I'm invested into a business, right? And then you decide at that point when to take and when not to take, right? Based off the information that you have. The buy low, sell high is the standard. That's just like the
Mm,
rules, right? You go to a boxing match, you don't want nobody to knock you out, but that doesn't mean you ain't gonna get knocked out if you get in the ring, right? That's just the standard. So it's just, that's just a rule right there. You're supposed to, but how do you know what's low and how do you know what's high?
Let's go.
So yeah.
So does that go back basically taking a risk, basically? That same quote you told us in the beginning.
Yeah, but investing, but yeah. So everything's taking a risk. If you get off the phone with me today and you make a decision whether you're not going to participate in America, you're going to be an outlaw, you're going to take a risk, right? Because you're not going to be able to perform for yourself. Maybe you got grandkids, maybe you got your family who's going to look up to you and need you, right? And you're not going to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. So it's all risk, it's all decisions. We have all decisions to make every day, all day, every day. It's just what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Everything is a risk. You know, some things just seem risky and not. If you want the minimum risk that based on history is the S&P 500. So, right, if you don't know anything, don't go in direct stock picking until you do your due diligence. So what you want to do is you want to just put it in the S&P 500. That would be the best advice. No. You can go to any broker, any guy with a suit on. You go to Bowling Green and you walk and you can ask any of those dudes who walk out the building. Hey, bro, I need to ask you a question about the company you work for. What's the S&P 500? What it makes? He's going to tell you right away. Go to your job, look for what tracks the S&P. Make sure it's one of the big names like Fidelity, BlackRock, Vanguard. Those are top companies in terms of that. And go ahead and jump in. Those are the money makers. See, a lot of people don't understand, right? If you buy stocks right now, they don't go in your name. They stay in the street name, the money marketer's name. So these stocks don't go in your name. They go all under these big money makers. And these people are the people who move the market every day. They're the people who make it go up and down, down and up. All you're doing is watching. Oh, dip, is dropping. Oh, dip is going up. You understand what I'm saying? That's all you do. It's not your local people that you see on Robinhood or in these groups selling, they talking about they selling. They ain't moving the market. That's not the movers. The money market is the movers. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gerald. Questions? Oh, you good?
I'm good.
All right. All right. Couple more questions for you, Clyde.
One question. Sorry, I apologize. I got one question.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so like investing in any kind of way, stocks, bonds, whatever way, right?
So let me clear this up for you real quick because I heard you say this word several different times. The bond words.
Oh.
Bonds is basically buying debt. Bonds is buying debt of a company. So you're buying the debt.
Okay.
So let's just say I'm not doing too good, or maybe I need, I'm buying debt. So like I'm buying money that you owe. So it's a small percentage that you get back.
All right. Well, my initial question was which is best, investing as your person under a vehicle like LLC, or both? Like which one is the best one?
So LLC is just a pass through. It is you. It isn't you, right? It is you. LLC is just a pass through. It stands with the individual, or you can use the name. It's up to you, but it is you. So and if you're gonna probably put something in there long term for a family member, you want to attach to it, that's fine. Or you want it. So basically, let me sum it to you. Let me break it down to you in hood terms, right? Let's say you owe some money, right? Let's say maybe you ain't pay your taxes or something, or you owe a company. Let's say you had 30,000 in your LLC account and you had 2,000 in your account. The only money they're going to be able to take is the 2,000, not the 30,000. So your LLC stands on its own, but it's also passed through you. So
So
Let's go.
yeah. So it's a dope element to have. It's some good arsenal, and you should be always trying to build up your LLC, your business. Yeah, build it up.
both or just an LLC. So both.
Well, you're supposed to be building yourself up every day, but your LLC, yeah. I mean, your LLC, like I said, you got to make it work for you, and I think we'll talk more on that. Like, I mean, I give you my direct line, and we'll go play by play what you should be doing with it. If you work 9 to 5, it even helps you out even better.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
We're gonna definitely get your social media.
Yeah,
later
I mean,
on.
to be honest, I only got Facebook.
That's fine. That's all
Yo,
good.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Like, for real, like,
Everybody got Facebook.
yeah, exactly.
That's all I got. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
That's all good.
Yeah. Talk about like the trading portfolio. More about that.
The trading in
Yeah,
terms of
like
what?
I would say um like let's say cryptocurrency, right? Is right now in Robinhood. I could share my screen. It's
Oh yeah.
about
So yeah. So when Bitcoin is undeniably what they're calling the next gold.
mm,
It's a currency.
Yeah.
yes.
But it's also a currency, but it's also not regulated. So in 1929 was the stock market crash. And in 1934, the SEC came and they regulated it. It's unregulated, So I mean, I don't really know how to view it.
Yeah, I don't mess around with that.
I mean, I don't know how to view it. I mean, is there opportunities in it? I guess if you understand it. But I mean, me personally, if a man could come and take my money tomorrow and walk away and not have to face a penalty, I'll be honest. I don't want anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to FINRA and be like, "Hey, bro, this person," because you're protected as an investor, which many people don't know that, right? So if someone was to hold on, if someone was hold on, yeah, so if someone was to tell you, right, invest into this, and they was to have all the legal work, I mean, all the little paperwork or whatever, and let's just say you lost your money. You could go to FINRA, which is the Financial Industry Regulator authorities, and say, "Hey, man, this guy just robbed me $3,000." More than likely, he's gonna get in a lot of trouble for taking your money. So like, we're protected. We're in an industry like stocks isn't something that somebody could just walk in and just take your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it's regulated, and if they do certain things, if you learn how to read financial data, some things ain't gonna make sense, and then before you get there, you'll be able to take your portion of your money and do whatever you got to do. But as far as crypto, as you've seen it today, it shot up to 19 and it shot down all the way to 17. Like, I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask anybody, it's currency. I got the US dollar bill right now. I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna deal with that currency.
I mean, it's as far as like like just like Walmart, this big companies, Apple.
Mhm,
What else we got? We got Google, and
mhm.
are these good? Like, do you recommend these companies that you
We got
put your money
Facebook.
into? Yes,
Definitely
Facebook. Yes,
technology.
absolutely.
They doing incredible things, man. Microsoft is doing incredible things for the world. Google is
Yes,
one of my favorite. It's
yes.
funny, man. I had a dude who was asking me, is Google a good investment? And he was Googling it. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna pray for you, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even paying attention to what you're doing.
Even I
You know
know
what I'm
it's a good
saying?
investment.
Yeah,
Oh.
like you got an Apple phone, and then you stood on Apple lines, and you asking these things. Like, you got an Apple phone, and you asking me if this is a great investment. You got Nikes. You wore Nikes your whole life.
Absolutely.
Is this a great investment? Yes. A lot of things is great investment now, and the reason why it's people like, oh, the market's just not paying attention. The market's not dealing with reality. The market is dealing with reality. The new reality is called D2C, so it's direct to consumer. So it's slashing out the middleman and saying, oh, I'm going right to you, the consumer. So now that the growth of this company is going to be exponential according, because now they don't have to deal with these retailers no more. You don't got to go to Foot Locker no more. Who got to go to Foot Locker? When you could go on Nike, you could go on StockX, DTC, So it's just a game changer. It's just a lot of different things changing. When you put your money in something, you have to say, okay, where's this company going to go at this point? I mean, there's no question me walking in Costco and all of the toilet paper's gone and there's no meat and there's no food. I'm not getting mad. I'm gonna go buy a share. Like, well, like, why am I getting mad? This place is making money. You feel me?
Let's go.
Yeah. So
All right. 7 questions left. I'm gonna give it to my guys to your question. TC.
Quick fun question. So, and Diamond's talking about this earlier. Since these new video game consoles came out, Sony and Microsoft with the Xbox and PlayStation,
Yes. Oh man.
do you think it's a good time to hop on board and buy a share from Sony or Microsoft?
Definitely.
Actually, I want to continue that question also because that was one of my questions also.
Yeah, go
When you
ahead.
talking about when you talking about the PS5, I also want to ask because they how they distributing these vaccines also. Is that a good time as in a future
Yeah.
investment to put you into stock?
well, so I like to look at business as business,
Mm.
right? And then I look at stock as the vehicle, like I already told you. As far as the vaccine, I didn't do enough information on that. And then morality wise, I mean, there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to the vaccine. I mean, I haven't even sat
Yeah.
and looked at any data. I see the top companies, which I already know, right? So Johnson and Johnson, you think they made all the product they got?
Yeah.
No. It's just like Puff Daddy didn't make all the beats he put his name on. Yeah, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So they're going to be number one regardless. Johnson and Johnson, what's the other? Pfizer, whatever. They're in Moderna. They're going to be number one in the drug industry regardless. Because even if it's a vaccine that comes out from Tom, Dick, and Harry, they're going to go sell it to Johnson and Johnson or whatever the company name is so that they could push it out because their name is a brand already. So, I mean, I don't know. As far as the what is it? The Sony, man, that's just an incredible company all around. It's always been a good company. I never know if it's the right time or good time. I mean, it's just something you never know. You know what I'm saying? Are they changing the world? Yes, man. It's crazy. Like, so let's just focus on business models and understanding, studying corporate data.
Let's go.
And if you look at these places, like even Adobe, right? They're incredible. They went from charging you $700 every 3 years to charging you monthly fees for each platform they use, right? And certifying these things. So like they changed the scope of the game. The same thing I think is happening for Microsoft and Xbox. I got a water-cooled computer that play Xbox games now. I don't even play games, but for some reason I'm signed up for $9 a month. for that's being charged to one of my cards that allows me to be able to play these, some of the games, like some of the popular games.
Oh, Game Pass. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Microsoft is amazing, man. But also, so those companies are value companies now because they've been out so long. All right, so let's talk about growth. Like how about the Uber? People are not paying attention to that. Uber just acquired what's the name of that company they just got?
Postmates.
Yeah. Let's what I'm saying? Let's pay attention to what's really, really going on out there.
That's a ball.
That's a big move.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So So and then also in the pandemic, they were still running, and then they also got that proposition pushed in California. So I mean, look at that. So that's long term. How do you Uber's doing a whole lot of different things. I mean, they changing the game. So growth wise, I like to look at companies that probably are going to grow within the. I don't want and you'll watch one of my videos. I have this video, right, that is out, and it actually did pretty well where I explain how I don't want a stock that I purchased to go up. I want to stay flat. Yeah. And the reason being is because it allows me to accumulate more and more shares. If the price gets too big, then I have to pay more for each share. And I have a video on it because but basically, you have to think of it like that. I mean, think about if you would have jumped at Microsoft and it would have stayed flat for like 4 years. That's what you got to pay attention to, the company model. If you pay attention to the stock, you're going to sell out all day. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, you're going to sell out. But if you pay attention to the company model, and you would have just kept buying these shares, and what happens with growth stocks, they come out with this amount of shares, right? So is liquidity. And that means that the prices is going to fluctuate more. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. Now, what happens over time, they don't want that no more. As their market caps go up, they don't want their price to be able to go down and go up. So what they do is they call a stock split. And then now they split the stock in half, 2 for 1. The price goes down, but eventually it starts to rise again and meet the same, and that's when the value starts to come in. So it's just amazing, man. Okay. It's a lot going on. It's just, I started this, not to jump off of it a little bit, but I started this study group. I just started it today, basically. But it's a group. There's nothing defined yet, but we're just going to study within the group. And then we're going to converse with each other. We're going to pick a book out. So I have one book already picked out. And then we'll pick a book out, and then we'll go to another book and another book. And then from that point, we'll start to build. Once we start learning the language, we'll start to build on different things and placing ourselves in different positions to be great. But it's just amazing, man.
We already great.
Study. Yeah. We're already great. Exactly. Studying is everything right now. Studying is probably the most important thing. Absolutely. People, it's funny because you show people green and money and they know they got cash. You show people a stack of iPhones. Somebody call you right now, like, yo, I got a box of iPhone 12s or whatever they got. You like, oh shit, nigga. You got money, dog. You feel me? But then if you show somebody who's sitting here studying and he grinding and they'll look right over your shoulder, man. They won't even see you coming.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, that's the money. You feel me? The skill is the money. The money is the residual of having that skill. And then now you have unlimited potential power. So it's just so much out there, man. It's crazy because I like to share what's in my head, but my head is just like, it just be racing because it's just like, it's the more information you get, you like, man, I'm about to dominate.
Yo,
You know?
yeah, it's yo. You can
Yeah.
talk about yo. It's no don't you don't
Dominate.
gotta censor yourself. Oh, just go, just
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
Dominating.
Yeah.
Dominate.
absolutely. Just dominate.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. TC Gerald.
Bro, I got nothing else to say.
You
Yo,
I'm
can't.
just trying to absorb everything you're saying.
so many nuggets you put. Yo, so many
I
nuggets,
know.
man. So
Yeah,
many
thank you,
nuggets.
thank you, thank you.
So many.
Yeah, so
You came with the 20-piece McNuggets today. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
facts,
oh, yeah.
facts.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's just so much information, and you know, it is, man. It's so much information, and when
Mhm.
people, when we hear it, we really don't even know what to do with it at times. It's like, but it's just slowly, day by day, man. I mean, we have an advantage. They like to keep us in this illusion, right, of what's really happening, but
Mhm.
that's not really happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have so much power, you know what I'm saying, in what actions we choose and what we do daily. Take your mind off of the, the money, right? And let's just focus on what we really can do. Like, you got these Democrats, right? They come out here and they just keep spinning the wheel. What they're gonna offer us and how they're gonna make it better for us and minorities and give us this and give us that. Hey, bro, we don't need you, bro. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna get to what you're doing, right? You're not gonna fly on a plane 4 to 5 times to decide whether my peoples get $1,200. Like, that's
Mhm.
despicable.
Are you talking
You know
about
what I'm saying?
Democrats and Republicans? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Mhm.
Democrats, Republicans, right? But you're not gonna fly on a plane and eat cuisines and you know do all these different things, right? And then try to tell me my people out here starving, and you keep having these
Yo,
conversations on who's gonna get this and that, but you're not giving anybody the real information, you know.
mm,
Mhm.
So we're gonna
yes,
get
Feel
right
that.
to it. Yep, we're gonna get right
yes.
to it, bro. Yeah.
Um,
So let me
all right.
ask y'all some.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna ask some of y'all some things. So y'all just started to invest in or what?
Well, me
Go ahead, Jared.
personally, I started earlier this year, really, like 2019. Like I remember it was me and two of my friends. Like we trying to start a group. And since then, that was the idea. And since then, it's been me and my business partners putting money into our account and investing like under the business. So that's how we've been doing it. And I have a whole portfolio made on everything because I know a guy who works at the bank. I probably shouldn't plug him because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but he gave me a bunch of information. Looks good. I trust him, and I go by that. So yeah.
For me, I've uh, it was in April. That's when the pandemic was like just. That's when everything was shut down. This was like the beginning of April. Um, and me and my friend, we was talking from high school, and he was talking about like, oh, you ain't know about stocks, and I'm like, stocks. I mean, I heard about it and everything, but I didn't really get too deep into it. And then that's when he uh explained to me, what is stocks and put investing and everything. Yeah.
For me, I ain't gonna lie to you. My homeboy told me, he said, yo, you see that app stash? I'm like, what's that? He said, you just put some money, you get some money back. So me being the dumbass, not really looking up anything, putting $5, thinking I'm gonna get something back the next day. I'm just like, why is that working? But not knowing it's more to stocks. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of dibble dabbled into it, but to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm.
So like having you on here today, it's like you drop a whole bunch of gems for me. So I'm just like, oh,
Facts.
I get it.
Facts.
Yeah,
Good,
Yo,
good, good,
yeah,
good, good. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I want. If there's one thing I would like is use stocks as the last part. Like
Okay.
yeah. Don't even focus on that part. Use that as the last part. That's the
Mm,
that's the vehicle. When I say that's like we don't just get in our vehicle unless we just want to drive around. Sometimes we do, right? We want to just joyride. But most times we get in the vehicle is when we're going somewhere. So we don't care. Yeah. So just use that to go to where you're going, but don't get caught into the price. And by then you already know where you're going. So you don't even care. I mean, there's times when he like, yo, the cat 40, man, I know you, man, you beating me, bro, but I got to go over here real quick, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just the same thing. It's just like you use it as the vehicle, you know what I'm saying, to get you where you're going once you made that decision. And sometimes it does take a while for it to catch up, but if it's something that is valuable, it's going to eventually get there. Hell yeah.
Okay. That's good advice. Appreciate that.
Always.
I have about like 4 more questions for you.
Okay.
This one question was actually was a listener. Should you listen to people on social media about buying a company or stock?
Yeah, I listen. I do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? I listen very clearly. You know what I'm saying? If it's popular, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm gone. Yeah. So if I catch them putting something or something like the Neo, right? So the Neo is very popular now. It's a stock called Neo. I guess they're doing these EV cars. You know, if it's an investment, so it's crazy because so investing and trading is 2 different things. Right. And that's where a lot of people have a hard time with trading. You're going off of price action, technicals, which would be like, 50-day moving average, resistance line, support line. So you start getting into that, right? Maybe news here and there, right? But when you invest in it's a durability, it's a competitive advantage, a durable competitive advantage company. You'll pay more to financial data, 8Ks, 10Ks. So they're 2 different things. So like if you're trading, it's different. And I think a lot of those people who are in those groups, they're not investing at all because they're buying and then they're taking screenshots of them selling at a good price, which they think is a good price till they realize it's actually a great company. And 10 years later, that little 100% they had actually is probably 1,000% now. So it's like a lot of people are winning because they got in at at the peak of the pandemic and the market dropped, but it's gonna phase its way out.
TC, look like you got a question.
No, that's it.
Gerald.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a question. I forgot what it was.
All right. Three more questions, and then after you can get to your your final thoughts. If a company files for bankruptcy, does that affect the stock share?
Oh, absolutely. Everything affects the stock. If immediately if there's news about like the McDonald dude, he was messing with one of the employees, the stock went down. A bankruptcy really affects the stock because they have, going back to bonds, they got the bond holders and those people get paid first. So now they're in debt. People are saying, okay, they're not going to pay it. So like Hertz, for instance, immediately their stock is at like $1 today because they are facing bankruptcy. Now, whether they'll come back from it, I don't know if they will come back from it. That's sometimes it's a gamble, but it is what it is. I mean, it's bankruptcy and it happens. So I'm gonna tell you this. So there's one. I really don't do this, but I did this. I know you heard of Aston Martin before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Aston Martin has an actual stock. It's the ticker's ARGGY. And I think when they came out at the wrong time pretty much, but they're right now, it was like, I don't know what they were, but right now they're at like $1. But I bought it like 60 cents, which is like very far from what I do. But the only reason I did that pretty much is because I'm like, Aston Martin, it's gonna get picked up. And it did. It got picked up by BMW. Oh, no. Mercedes Benz makes everything in it. So I mean, they're facing bankruptcy. You know, it's a possibility that they may fold, but being that, being of their status, somebody will purchase the name because they're Aston Martin. Yeah, so
That kind of similar happened with Toys R Us.
and then ain't Toys R Us come back after?
There's one in Jersey, and they still have Toys R Us in Canada, and I know Japan.
Yeah, but so business model, ask yourself, what can Toys R Us do different? To me, Toys R Us was a distributor, and I think it worked for them. So it's kind of like Century 21. We all know that, right? Living in New York, we was raised on getting the hottest items from Century 21 at a discount, right? But the pandemic crushed them. You know why? Because their business model wasn't prepared. They don't have no online presence, nothing. That wasn't their business model.
Okay.
The same thing for Blockbuster. People say Netflix a Blockbuster. That's not true. Blockbuster's business model was making money off the subscriber. Someone being late with the DVDs, you go to counter, you want to get some fish, some Swedish fish is $4 a pack. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, you go in the back right now.
yeah. So you got to ask yourself about, business models, how does that work? Is it going to work for you? Like I said, I'm be honest with you, man. It comes to stocks. When people be like, some people be, I had a few cats that I know, they go crazy. Oh, I made this and I made that. And I like to see that, especially when we're not used to getting that. So I do talk about that. It's more of a personal thing. And I have different ways to look at it. But what I like to stick with is the wealth creation. And the wealth creation is focusing on being able to take part in wonderful companies.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
don't overthink stuff. If you want to do that on the side, that's fine. But, take part in something that's great,
Yes.
Okay.
In these
All right.
times, wealth is not an option anymore. It's necessary.
Man, necessary, very.
Yeah.
Hex. Yes.
Especially with this pandemic and stuff going on.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Man, but guess what? This is gonna make you even more powerful.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it's gonna I mean, pandemic's gonna, it's
kill you.
It's huh? Say that?
It doesn't kill you. The old saying only makes you stronger.
Yeah, I believe that, but then I've seen some things drive people crazy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't kill them, but it made them crazy. So I don't know. That's one of them sayings. I'm like, I really don't understand yet, and maybe somewhere later in life I will. But
yes. All right. Last question, and then we're gonna get your Facebook and final thoughts. Who inspires you? Like who's your inspiration?
So, first of all, my mom's inspires me, right? She's my inspiration. She was way ahead of her time. I mean,
okay.
Her life was taken short. She wasn't here that long, but she definitely was ahead of her time. And in terms of that, her philosophy, she would never listen to you until you did research on what you was talking about. So she didn't listen to the Google Gaga. She will invest in you. She will take her money or the money she had, and she'll put you in programs, purchase books or whatever you have to do to get you to understand what you're talking about. So that's number one. Number two, recently there's two people that really they said some things that really impact me when I was going through some time where I was looking for someone to guide me because I needed guidance. One of it was the Lopez guy. You know, the guy who go to people's garage and he's like he's on Facebook a lot. Ty Lopez.
The one that was like, "Here is my garage." That guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, so
Oh, I know you're talking
yeah,
about. Okay.
yeah. So he went on the show one time, and one thing that he said was they asked him about a mentor. He was like, man, if you don't find a mentor, let books be your mentor. He was like, there's people, you know what I'm saying? There's amazing people who's not here no more. Let books be your mentor. He's like, so what? You don't find nobody? Just keep reading books and let those people, because those people, what they write, they really take their time and they all write some of the great books to give you their all when they write in them books. Some of them books, like the books that I read, like I don't read crap, right? The books that I read, they give you everything. There's no holding back. You understand what I'm saying? And it's to their audience, so who they want to have that information. And they spend a lot of time and they give you everything. Their heart is in that book. If you ever had somebody even attempt to write a book, you know why they can't start the book or finish it? Because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to figure out which way they're gonna come at you and give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So he said, let mentors be your book. And the second dude, I forgot what his name was. He was Nipsey's Hustle's. He was a dude who made the Nipsey Hustle store. I don't know if y'all know about that. Where it was like a smart store. Wait, hold on, let me see. You know what I'm talking about?
The store in LA?
Yes. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. What was it?
Oh, his name is Idris Sandru. All right. He developed a mobile software that later gained the attention of former U.S. Prince Barack Obama. Okay, listen. So he's from Guyana. He's a Guyana tech genius, right? But so I listened to him on YouTube. Check him out, right? Just Google his name.
Okay.
And they asked him. They was like, "Yo, this was so ill," because they was like, "Yo, you never been to school. How did you learn this?" Right? Because he does what they call that again? AI smart learning or whatever. Wait, what does he do?
AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so they was like, how did you do it? Hold on, let me find out real quick.
That's what it is. This is.
Yeah, he you know, that's all I needed was when I heard him. Well, hold on.
Just give it a few seconds, y'all.
Oh yeah, so he got a new interview which I'm gonna watch later. But anyway, MIT wanted to pick him up, right? And they said, "How did you learn all of this? Like, how did you learn it?" He said, "I went to the library for 2 years straight. 2 years straight, every day, and studied it until he got it. And he turned down MIT. I think he worked for Google, and he got something new right there. I'm gonna send it to y'all later, where he's Black creative in technology. This is 3 weeks ago, where he's talking for an hour. The dude, when he talk, he's amazing. I'm like, yo, any man who can do what he did is huge. And I'm like, man, he went there, he learned it, and he sat there. He couldn't get no books, and he sat there and he learned it. And I mean, so those are my two inspirations right there. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yo, what you just said, I'm writing it down as we speak. Like, yeah.
Send that to me when you finish.
Please.
And yeah, and I still follow, like me. I like to utilize every tool that I have. I utilize the library a lot. All my books come from the library. I read it and give it back. Yeah,
Yes.
I took years to start utilizing that, but I do.
Yes.
Yep. Sure.
Yo, King, anything you have, because I know you was talking about before, like you have a video about what you was talking about before.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
right now, I'm just on Facebook, and I have a video of breaking down um the same things that I'm telling you right now, like how to do it, coming from where we coming from with nothing, because I think that's more important than anything. I don't like to have conversations about money because money is the residual of a skill and hard work. So that's what I do. I have a few videos on my Facebook right now. I have about probably like four videos right now. And yep, that's it. And my social media is just Clyde Slade. That's Facebook. You add me in there. I mean, it's crazy because if you follow and you go down my page, you can see that I don't give financial advice, but I show people what I'm doing. I think that's more important than anything, right? So
Absolutely.
whatever they're doing on their end is up to them, right? But if I see an opportunity and it's a stop, I'm not worried about empowering somebody who's just like me. You're on my page because you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I see people going ham on their page, and I'm like, are you really adding your friend? Or are you adding strangers? Because I strayed away from that. I don't have that, So people on my page, for the most part, we interact. I like to interact with people.
Okay.
I never was the guy who's like, I'm gonna get 5,000 friends and then cap out and then delete people just for like, I don't care about any of that, right? I want to have people who's a soul base, who are real people behind there that I associate with. So, my page is like, I like 2,000 people who for the most part, if we're not associating, I'm seeing that maybe I went on their page and see that they're paying attention and they probably want to get into something. They're a little bit apprehensive. But on my page, if I took a position in BlackRock, right, or if I take a position in certain, I post it. I mean, it's up to you if you want to do the research, and then I post to you what the results are after. This is what I did. I took a position for 20, and then the position now sits at 95. So
Let's go. Let's
yeah,
go.
just trying to look out.
So last question, guys. TC Gerard, before he say his final thoughts.
Bro, I just want to say thank you for today, dropping the
Always.
knowledge. And, especially our community, we need to hear stuff like this. So thank you for spreading your knowledge.
Man, I
Facts.
got you, man. I would. I mean, it is an honor to talk to people like me. Who who struggle with different things. One of the things, it's funny because most people that I speak to, one of the things that they struggle with is like, Mom Dukes, like, why you didn't tell me about this? Like, why didn't we have this conversation? Like, why did I have to sit here and go through all this? Mom Dukes will look at you like, boy, you're gonna lose your money in that goddamn shit. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Yo.
Yo.
You hit her right on the money. Nah.
Say that again. That's a bar. You know how they say it in Smack. They be like, say that again. Say that again. That's a bar.
Mom, like,
yo,
you about to lose your goddamn money. You out of your goddamn mind, boy. You better go out there and get a goddamn job. What's up with you, man? You done lost your goddamn mind.
Yo, let's go.
Don't have them cops come to my house. Shit.
Yo.
Doing over there doing that illegal activity.
See, that's how Brooklyn you're talking right now.
Yes.
You'll go out there try to take your homeboy. They're gonna be like, after you get off the phone, what the hell? What are you talking about, man? Like, yo, dog, you spacing out, bro. Yo, come get this dude real quick, bro.
What's your man's, man?
Yeah, come get your man's real quick. Man. This man's trying to come tell me I do this for real, dog. Like, get that little video game stuff out of here. So yeah, yo, it's just a different perception. I mean, perception's everything. I listened to Dame Dash today, which was one of my favorite guys. human
backdrop.
beings. Yeah, he's one of my favorite human beings ever because he
Okay.
think he's always right. So that's I love that. I can watch him on YouTube all day. But it's the truest perspective. Like one of the things he said today, I listened to it. He was like, "Yo," he said, "You can see a dude who's abusive and all of this." He'd be like, "Man, tell him why you abusive." He's like, "Yo, because my mom's and my pops was," and then he said he'll go to another dude who strives to be the best. And he'd be like, "Tell him why you like that." And then he'd say the exact same thing. So it's just perspective. Both people are saying this different things, are doing the different things, but they're saying the same thing. So it's just how you view things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yes.
So
okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's just pretty
Another
dope.
thing, what because I listened to Dame Dash too. What he talked about is that we need to start instead of what we need to start being instead of chasing the opportunities, we need to start
Man,
creating the
you know what?
opportunities.
You know what?
Yo.
So we got some heavy pushes right now in the community. Some of them is
Yes.
Gilly Wallow and Gilly. Okay.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
Wallow and Gilly. Make sure you always tune into them. They're heavy pushers. Snoop Dogg is one. Snoop Dogg was
Absolutely.
on there on there the other day, and he had his own studio and everything, recording studio. Yeah, so what they're doing is they're starting to understand it's direct to consumer now. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you one of America's biggest problems right now, right? And Trump kind of touched on it a little bit, right? But he was being too
Trump.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. No.
Yep.
But he was being too cocky
mhm,
about it, right? But
mm,
so China, the guy who was making sneakers, so they went from imitators to innovators. These guys, the same guy was making sneakers, making $15 every 2 months. It's probably making 30,000 a month do programming, selling programs and stuff like that, right? So
mhm.
selling data. It's just everything changed. The way agriculture, capitalism is
Yeah.
changing, right?
Mhm.
They
Yes.
can't stop you. The minute that you TC say I'm a millionaire, the minute that you say it, and I don't mean you just talk it, that you believe it, that's the minute that you're gonna become that. The
Mm.
minute that you say it and you like, yo, I got it, bro. And
Affirmations.
that is
Yeah.
a wrap because you have everything in your power, everything in your arsenal right now to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a game changer, man. The world's changing a lot. That's why, you have them trying to stop TikTok and all these
Yeah.
different things because you're
Mhm.
direct to
Yes.
consumer. It's like when you're done, send me this payment. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
there's money being sent
Yes.
quickly now. So it's a game changer. So yep, just stay
Oh,
focused. Let moms be moms, let dad be dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let everybody do what they doing and just continue to study and get where you going.
Okay.
yes. We
Definitely.
we
All right.
we are the we will
And
or we are the plug. Yes.
so let me ask
Basically.
you something. So
Absolutely.
so so from Diamond, what social media do you have?
I have Instagram, Facebook.
Okay, hold on. Let me get because it don't look like you be on Facebook that much. Do you be on Facebook? No,
Yeah.
I'm asking you. Do you be on Facebook?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so let me get
Yeah.
your Instagram.
Absolutely. I have the business page and I have my personal. My Facebook is Diamond Cash
I got that.
and the business is Diamond Cash Incentives.
Okay.
On Facebook.
And how about your IG?
Instagram is Diamond Cash Rich and the business
Rich and
page.
normal normal spelling rich?
Yeah, just a normal spelling. Diamond Cash Rich.
All right. And then that's all, right?
Yeah, and the business page is DC Incentives 4, the number 4.
DC. Okay. All right. And TC, how about you? What you got going on?
I got Facebook, but I'll be honest, I'm barely on it.
Okay, so
So
you're
I
not
can get
on
my
Facebook.
Instagram.
Okay, your IG is what? What's your IG?
It's TC Payne, Payne.
Oh, TCPAYN.
NE. Mhm.
Okay. And how about you, Gerard?
Gerald, Joe.
Yo, Gerald, my bad.
You good. I got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all the same handle. AT Gerald Roberts.
AT Joe Roberts.
Yeah.
And Facebook the same too?
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the same.
AT Joe Roberts. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna definitely my Facebook is I am Vivid Photos. To be honest, I just use that as my just to look at stuff. I kind of moved from the IG. I love IG, but I just I don't know. It was just a lot.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of I don't know, man. In 2012, I just kind of moved from doing that. I just felt like at that time I needed to focus on really being intentional and really building my character.
Absolutely.
And on that page, you'll see like I do photography still, but you'll still see like I'm a vegan. So I was more into my fitness and my veganism over there and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I had to kind of.
Okay, so you go into
That's
like
good.
you do fitness and okay.
Yeah.
You might
So
have the-
so I mean, just to sum it up real quick, not to hold too much time, just wellness to me is everything. You know,
Yes.
you gotta build all of it around,
Mhm.
and then you become, you gotta have wealth is health first. I don't
Yes.
care
I
how
believe
much
that.
money you got. If you
Mhm.
don't take care of your health, you're not wealthy.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I've seen rich people die. You know what I'm saying?
Look how much shouldn't die this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Hey, so let me
any-
ask you about that headset, TC. Is that like the gaming joint?
Yeah, I got as a gift. I can't even tell you what brand it is. Let me see.
Okay. Something about so are y'all all from Brooklyn or y'all just from New York?
I'm from
we all
Queens.
from Queens. We all from Queens.
Oh yeah, all of us. Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queens. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
but
bad.
my family's from
Nah, you
Trinidad
good.
though.
You good.
Diana in the building. Diana.
Oh, okay, Trinidad. Okay.
Yeah.
So how long y'all been in Queens? Your whole life?
Man, my whole life.
Whole life.
All our whole
Whole
life.
life.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you the next question. Are y'all all working a 9 to 5?
Yes.
All of us. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
good. So we're gonna be making moves quickly, rather
course.
quickly here.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
We create
So remember,
opportunity.
you can project what you invest into your, so you can project in your IRA what you put. So you can write off a projection too. So
Okay.
that's a little thing I'll share with y'all later on that offline.
Cool.
Let's go. Let's
Cool.
go.
Up
But,
for it.
so okay, how about LLC? Because how you say your name again?
Gerald.
Yeah, Gerald. My bad. Just making sure. Gerald has an LLC
Oh yeah. Brandon
from New
Gerald.
York. Is it from New York?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much you pay? Like 300?
I think it was like 250.
Yeah.
Like by every 2 years.
Okay. How long? Oh, you got to pay every 2 years out there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who
How
did you
long
go
did you have
to?
it?
I filed with the state. I went
Yeah. He went straight to state.
Okay, because for me, I went to LegalZoom.
It cost you more, 500.
Don't do
Oh,
that.
they call
Cost you
yeah.
500?
Nichols, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they finessed you, but
Exactly.
I mean,
Well,
it's
too late now.
It's crazy, boy. I already tell.
okay. So, how long have you had it?
I was just thinking about that too. December 21st, my 4-year anniversary when we founded it.
Okay, and how about you, TC?
I had it for about 4 months.
Good. How about you, Diamond? Do you have one yet or not yet?
Not yet, but I will.
Okay.
Nah, we got me. Diamond.
All right, TC. We're going to talk. So, after a certain amount of years, the tax, it gets a little stricter in terms of you have to start to produce revenue.
Yeah.
And besides taking a loss when it's fairly new, you get a better, kickback in the beginning.
Okay.
So in those first 3 years, you got to kind of like, you can take, you could have losses, but after like the third year, you got to start kind of showing some type of initiative, bring in some revenue. But so you just got yours, you're pretty good. And you can write that 500 off you paid for it. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so, but we're going to talk about that.
All right.
Let's go.
Appreciate that.
All right, man. Man, it's great.
Is there any final before we get off any conclusion?
I just want to say, this was definitely a treat. Definitely a treat. And one of the charms of this podcast is that it's a platform to bring up stuff that's not out there, but really should, like finances, credit, business, economy, all that stuff. And I just want to say I appreciate your time and just the information that you just dispense.
Always, man.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you.
I agree.
Yes.
This is always a beautiful thing to network and connect and reach out, and during these times,
Yeah.
this is a blessing. So I thank y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, thank you.
Honestly, coming with the knowledge.
Yeah, and that's just act on what we got to do. If y'all need anything, just hit me up. Once I get in your inbox and on the social media platforms, I'll send you my number, and then just text me anytime you need something.
Okay, cool.
All right, man.
No problem.
All right, guys.
All right, later.
All right, guys. Good night.